I've already done a review video on this Genki attack vector case, and unfortunately I could not recommend this case just because some of the glaring flaws and just some of the things that were designed on purpose that I didn't particularly like. But Genki themselves even recognized some of these flaws, and they put out a post, put out an apology saying that we've redesigned some of these things and we've put out a new version of this case, and if you've ordered it past a certain time, you're getting the new version and not the old version. So those were a little bit delayed because those people were getting the brand new design. Now, a person in my comment section said they received an email from Genki that because they had pre-ordered it or ordered the earlier version, that they were going to be able to keep the old one and they were also going to receive the new version for free. Now, I didn't personally receive that email. I checked my email like a bunch after that because I'm like, whoa, did I just miss it? Is it in my junk? Spam folder, whatever. Like, I did not see it at all. So I was under the impression that I was kind of like, left behind essentially. But it turns out that my email address just might not have made it onto that mailing list for some reason, because this box right here is actually the new version. They sent it to me. I just randomly received it in the mail. And I was thinking, oh, well, maybe it was a mistake or something, but they also sent this nice, it's like reusable bag. It's like a canvas bag, and it's on one side it says inventory capacity +8, and it's got like all the Switch 2 like accessories and like a little like illustration here. But then like on the other side, it says, it's got their Genki logo. Trying to move this out of the way. It's got their Genki logo with some of the other stuff that they came out with, like the covert dock and the Moonbase little surge protector thing, and a bunch of other stuff here. I think this is really neat. They didn't need to do anything like this. Simply just redesigning the product, fixing the flaws that people have, a lot of people have complained about, and then saying, hey, you've supported us, we're going to send you the new one for free. I love that, right? I even said that some other brands do that, like D-Brand's done that a bunch. Throw this over here. So it's just nice to see that they did that, and I'm not saying that it like has renewed anyone's trust in them, but at the same time, like, it is nice to see that they are willing to admit that they've made some mistakes and they've owned it. So I'm just gonna open up this box. We're gonna check out what's inside and see what it's like compared to the old version, because I still do have the old version. So I'm gonna switch the camera here. So this box is basically the same as the original box, right? So I didn't actually do the unboxing for the original one, just because I wanted to get the case on my Switch 2 and like use it and try it out and be able to get an actual review out pretty quickly. So what we'll do is we'll do the unboxing right here. And this unboxing experience I remember being kind of nice, right? So it's got the little sleeve and then little Genki symbol. This box is a little bit of rough shape, but that's fine. So, alright, so what we have here, and I'm sorry, this shot's a little dark, so I'm going to just try to see if I can... Alright, yeah, that's a little bit better. Okay. So I have the one that has the travel cover, which is this thing right here. All these pieces are kind of stuck into it. The travel cover is actually on it. There we go. So we have the travel cover. We have one of the Joy-Con grips with, I believe this is I forget what they call this grip, but it's the one with it's got a little groove for your thumb or your pinky or whatever for a finger to rest in. With the left Joy-Con, and this is the tablet portion. I mean, ultimately, this looks fairly identical to the original case. I mean, there isn't all that much different, right? And so we have this foam, and under the foam is where you'll see just the other grips. So I'm not going to take those out. I'm just going to keep the ones that are on it. Then we're going to check. So I'm going to take my Switch 2 out. We're going to put it on the case on it. And we're going to just see how it is. Alright, and with the power of video editing, we are here with the case on it. And gotta say, it's nearly identical to the original one, right? They didn't really change a whole lot. The main changes were just very small, subtle changes that fixed some problems for the case, right? So with it going into a dock, the original case just didn't fit. It was a very tight fit. There was, I don't think there were a couple other issues. They provided some tape to stick it to the system because it just wasn't staying on, which I'm not going to use, right? I'm not going to tape this to my system. But otherwise, yeah, it's the same. There's 3 separate pieces. You get the 2 separate Joy-Con grips, right? Or case parts, and then you have the tablet part. It's a separate part. And the grips themselves are replaceable, which is nice, and there's 3 separate sizes, but I feel like the sizes just keep getting bigger sideways. They go horizontally out, right? And so instead of going straight back, and for some people that might be fine if you have like bigger hands. I have kind of smaller hands, so it doesn't really, I feel like this kind of makes it a little less comfortable for me, right? But the thing that really bothers me is that this has a lot of kind of like leverage, so it's easier to see when it's from the bottom here because it goes so far out. You have a leverage, so when you move up and like back and forth like this, you can actually like move the Joy-Cons. Because they're separate pieces, there's nothing holding it all together to like keep it solid. And I just feel like, and then this is not specific to this case, it's inherent to cases like this that are 3 separate pieces, right? It's not holding it all together. So there is like some motion in there, and there is motion when you're playing the Switch without a grip or a case, right? You can do that, but because these go further out this way, you're creating more leverage. So the smaller motions that don't really do much when you're holding the Joy-Cons directly, they're a much more like apparent, like they actually they move the Joy-Con much more because of that leverage. And I feel like maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, maybe a couple years from now, you'll see parts inside that are warped or bent or slightly damaged that you now have to replace. Maybe the Joy-Cons, maybe the actual system, but I feel like it's not a giant chance that kind of thing's going to happen, but it is there, right? And that's, like I said, it's not particular to this case. The D brand kill switch case, the JSOX makes a case like this. A bunch of companies make cases like this. And, it's nice that you can separate, right? You can pull the Joy-Con out and, play with 2 separate Joy-Con when you're in like tabletop mode kind of thing. So you can do that with this without having to take it out of the case, which is like one of the big things, right? And this one actually has something I really like, which is this MagSafe like ring. It's not MagSafe, but it does the same thing, right? It has a little magnetic ring. If you have a device that has a magnet, or you have a MagSafe device like a battery, so Genki actually makes a battery that has a magnetic ring in it. You could slap it right on here, put a little cable to the system and charge it, and have it just stuck to the case, which is really cool, right? I love that feature. I think that's awesome, and I think more things should have that kind of thing. But ultimately, the same problems I have with this are still present, and it's just, I've discovered that as excited as I was about this case, the 3 separate piece design is not something that's for me. I want something that holds it all together, something that keeps it as one solid piece without, I don't really care about taking the Joy-Con off. That's just, it's obviously my opinion. But the other main thing is that the original Attack Vector case claimed to be dockable. It was in there, all their advertising, that something they promised that with this case on, you could put it in the dock. I didn't demonstrate that in my original review. It's something I totally missed, and I realized it after the fact. But in the original version, when you put it in the dock, you'd kind of get stuck, and you have to really force it down. And if you were holding it by the grips and you were pushing it down, the grips, they slide off. That's how you remove a grip to put a new grip on. It slides off, and then you click it back by pushing up. And so when you're pushing down on the grips, you remove the grips. And so I did that a couple times, and I was like, I'm just whatever. Like, I'll put them back on later. But yeah, I'll actually show you. So this is the new case, and this is the Switch 2 dock. I'm keeping the power cable plugged in, so I can show whether or not it actually is dockable. So we'll go ahead and push it down here. The light's not turning on, right? So it's not actually docked. And this, okay, there we go. So I actually got it to dock. So, and then it disconnected once I moved it. it's dockable, but like if you move it even the slightest bit, it disconnects from the USB. So I've actually tried to record this part a couple times, so I'm not surprised by this. If you might notice, this still doesn't work. It still doesn't dock. What happened before, like I said, it would get stuck, and then you have to really force it in, but it would dock, and then it would stay docked as long as it was, you didn't try to pull it back off of there. But this just doesn't. This doesn't dock now. So the one thing that, if I do that, but if I like move, yeah, it separates. If I touched it at all, like I barely touched it, and it popped off because it's not, it's just not set up to do that right. It's it doesn't. And I've noticed this other thing too. After doing this a few times, that it might be hard to tell, but if you see there's a ton of scratches here now, those were not here before I tried to do this demonstration. I tried to record this a couple times, but I had some weird mishaps with like my webcam and stuff, so I had to like redo this. But yeah, it doesn't. It not only does it not dock, but it forces the screen to be closer to the front of the docking station, and it scratches the screen. And I had an inkling that, had a hunch that that's what the original version of this case did, because there are a couple scratches on my Switch 2 screen, and I have barely taken that thing anywhere. It's barely left my house. It's been, if I play it in bed. So like, I'm gonna switch it over to the other screen because it's just me talking now. But let's see if I can show you the scratches from this angle here. It's hard to see them. Yeah, it's hard to see them. I'm not gonna keep putting the system in front of the camera there, but in my original review, at the end of the review, I said, "Can I recommend this?" And I said, "No, I cannot recommend this." And I really don't like to make videos where I say at the end I can't recommend this, because I really like to talk about the things that bring me joy in gaming, and I like to share the things that I like to use, that I use every day. But I got really excited about this case before it came out, made some videos about it, and I thought I really needed to share my thoughts on this, because when you buy anything from Genki, there's no return policy. You can't return things you don't like. They will honor a manufacturer defect. They will honor something arrived broken. They will send new parts pretty much all the way up until sending you a new case or battery or whatever you buy from them. But they will not let you fully return something if you don't like it. There's no return policy at all. You keep it. So it's $60 US for this case. I pre-ordered it. When I got it, it just, not a case that I want to use, and I just had to put this out there. And then, like I said at the beginning of the video, this arrived at my doorstep. Didn't even realize that they're sending me this upgraded model, with all the fixes. And unfortunately, the same major issues that I had with the original version of this case are still present here. And I can't recommend this case to anyone with a Switch 2. Especially because of the scratches. Now I'm gonna have to take the screen protector off and use the second screen protector that I was planning on giving to somebody else. Don't get the Genki Attack Vector case. I cannot recommend this case. It hurts me to say things like that. It does. It really does hurt me, because my channel is all about being positive and talking about the things that are enjoyable in gaming, things that I love to share my love in gaming. But yeah, if you're gonna buy something, if you want something that's dockable, I know it's hard to get, because even people who were the first to pre-order aren't getting them yet. But the Satisfy grips have always been really good. Savage Raven has a Neo grip. It's not like a full case like this, because see, this even comes with I have it right here, the travel cover, which I really like. This thing's really nice. But if you're looking for something that has like a travel cover, the Savage Raven stand grip is really nice, but you cannot dock it with this. But you could take it right out of here in like 2 seconds and put it right in the dock, so that's not a big deal. I wanted to make a video too, and I'm going to make a video about how quick it is to take this, put this in the case, take it out, put it in the dock, and put it back. I'm going to see how many times I can do it in like 30 seconds, right? It's going to be like YouTube short. So if you're interested in seeing stuff like that, go ahead and click on my face over here to subscribe. But otherwise, I'll catch you in the next one.